Going on, it's Jack here. Welcome back to part 4 of how to sell on Amazon Australia. Now this is going to be, it's not the most complicated step, but I'll probably spend a little bit of time explaining it because it can be a bit confusing when you're first doing it. And this is how to get your product shipped to Amazon. Now I have a little Word document that I've made up here, which will give you some general guidelines as to what you will need beforehand and what you can expect during and after the shipment plan. So if you haven't checked out the other 3 videos, go ahead and do so. This will give you a better idea. But if you are up to the shipment plan in your selling journey, your selling process, this will be the perfect video to start on for you. So without further ado, we're going to get into this video. Now this is my seller account here. Don't worry about this balance here. Like I've said before, just a dummy account in these videos, but I may be turning this into an actual seller account. So you may see me blocking out some stuff here because I've got some products on here that I'm still getting sorted, and some shipment plans of my own on here. So you may see some stuff blocked out. It's just so I don't give away the product and some sensitive information like, you know, just supplier information and my own personal details and information like that. So you might see some stuff like that blocked out, but don't worry, I'll explain to you what it is. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this video. So before we go ahead and start doing the shipment plan, just going to go ahead and tell you guys what you will need beforehand. So before the shipment plan, you will most likely want to be talking to your supplier already, and you want to have your product done. This is your logo, any colors, any bundles, anything you want, any basically your whole product sorted out. And if you're doing a sample, make sure you get your sample received and you like the idea of your product, you like the idea of the quality, you know, you like how it looks, how it feels, you know, all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure your product's done. Make sure that your price with your shipping is negotiated, you know, prior to this, so you're not given any, you know, hidden fees or anything after you do your shipment plan. You want to make sure that you are guaranteed that price. That's what I would do anyway. You can do some of this stuff afterwards, but I want to make sure that I've got the product done beforehand before I start getting into any shipment plan and wasting my time with this kind of thing. So make sure that that's done beforehand, and we're going to get straight into this as well. And I'll explain this as we go. This is the information that you need during and after your shipment plan. So we're going to get straight into it here. So this is your seller account. This is what it's going to look like. What you're going to want to do is go to your inventory. Now again, you'll probably see me block out some stuff because they've got products here that, you know, I don't want you guys to see up here, and you know, my seller account information and whatnot, just because I don't want to give away the product. Eventually I'd say I will once I get this product, you know, up and running, or several products up and running, and I make them successful. Then I'll most likely give to you guys, you know, what they are. But for now, I want to keep them as is. I don't want to show anyone what they are. So you have your list of products here. If you've just got a product, you'll have it listed here. Now what you want to do before, it's another thing that I forgot to add here, you want to make sure that your Amazon listing is done. Okay, if I can type. There we go. So we want to make sure the Amazon listing is done. It doesn't have to have all these nice photos and everything. It just make sure that you've got, you know, at least a decent title. You've got 1 or 2 images on there just to get started, and you've got some basic information on there as well. I do have videos on that on my channel as well. If you do want to go check them out, it teaches you how to do your listing. You know, I might even do that as another part of this video. I don't know if it's in this mini series that I've got just yet, but if not, I'll most likely do a more detailed image on that, detailed video on that, sorry. So make sure at least you've got a simple version of your Amazon listing done, so that you've got somewhere to show your, you've got somewhere to put your shipment plan onto. If you don't have a product listing, you'll be making a shipment plan for no product. So you've got to make sure that you've got your listing there. So once you've done that, you want to go ahead and click the box next to it, and then on action, you want to go ahead and say send and replenish inventory. So it'll bring you to the next page on there, and there's a few different things you might need to get sorted out as well. So one of them might be converting it to Amazon FBA. It might be stuck on fulfilled by merchant, which means you have to pack and ship it yourself, but we don't want to do that. So you want to go ahead and make sure. So you might not see this straight away. You'll probably see a couple of things. So first thing being to make sure to tick it and convert it to FBA. And then the next thing as well, it might have to get you to fill out a tiny little form. It's like 2 questions just to make sure that your product isn't hazardous or isn't a threat or anything like that. Now with my product, just to let you guys know, mine utilizes batteries, so I had to fill out a form with that. I had to fill out an extra form. You just follow the prompts with Amazon. And if yours has any substance in it, or any liquid or anything like that, you may have to do the same thing. Follow the prompts with Amazon. Get in touch with Amazon Seller Central, Amazon Seller Support if you do get stuck on that kind of thing, and you can push it along further, because usually it takes up to 4 business days. Mine took around that, and I just made sure to follow up with Amazon Seller Support just to make sure that this got pushed along, and then it got to the point where they're like, okay, you're okay to sell this now. We know that it's not a hazardous product, so make sure that you do that. So once you're on that, once you've done that, you'll come to this page here, and you'll probably see I've got a couple of things here that have been blocked out, and that is just because I'm blocking out any of my personal information, like I said, or information of the supplier, just like their address and whatnot. I don't want to leak that information there. So big portion of this page might be blocked out, but I'll explain to you guys what you'll be seeing here. So it's basically, you've got on the left hand side here, you've got create a new shipment plan, which is most likely what you guys will be doing, and then I've got an address here, but it'll most likely get you to add an address in. So make sure you ask your supplier what their address is, and when it comes to, because we're dealing with Chinese suppliers, when it comes to Chinese suppliers, you want to make sure that you've got the state and the province and the district and whatnot. Make sure that you've got it in the correct order. If you get stuck on what is what, ask your supplier what the district is and whatnot. Make them be more specific. Otherwise, I just Googled it, and I ended up, finding what the right information was, because I wasn't sure what the district was. I wasn't sure what the, what the province or whatever it was is, because they have it set out. Their address is set out a little bit differently to here in Australia. So make sure that you either Google or ask them if you get stuck. And the other thing as well, you'll see here next to where you've got your shipment plan, you'll see on basically in the middle of the page, it'll say packing type. So once you're adding your address, you want to make sure that you've got packing type, and it'll either have individual products or case pack products. Now in my instance, I did individual products, because you'll either do individual products for one of 2 reasons. One, you have different colored items, like you've got, let's just say you've got a red and a blue, and they're being packed together. That's when you do individual items. Otherwise, let's just say if you've got 150 units you're getting shipped in, and you've got 100 in one box and 50 in the other, that's another reason, and even if they're all the same color, that's another reason you do individual products. Case packed is if you'd say, let's just say you've got the same 150 units, but there are 50 in each box. So there's 3 boxes, 50 in each. Case packed is if you've got the exact same product with the exact same amount of units in each box. Individual is if you've got anything different, even if you're doing the same product. If it's got 200 units, if it's got 100 in one, or 50 in the other, 150 in another, whatever it may be, to add up to the 200. If it's not exactly the same, that's when you do individual as well, just to clear that up. So once you've done that, once you've clicked either individual or case packed, you want to go ahead and hit continue to shipping plan. And again, if you do get stuck on any of these steps, make sure to, you can either give me a comment and I'll try and answer down below. If you get stuck, message me on my Facebook, or even go through and check on, if I get stuck on anything, every now and then I just go to the Amazon seller forums. I just Google it, and it usually comes up, and the people have already had these problems before, and I just go check out the forums on there. So you'll have here, so this is basically where you're getting everything set up for your shipment. So what you want to look for in here is, so this is basically set quantity. It'll say so up here, set quantity, prepare products, label products, review shipment, prepare shipment, and then the summary. So basically here what we're doing is adding a product in. Now if your product isn't added on there already, make sure to just go ahead and click add products, and it'll have your supplier address and whatnot up there. So go ahead and add your product in. This is the amount of units we're getting shipped in. So if you guys didn't know, what you can see down the bottom here, you've got a standard storage size of 300 units. Just so you know, if you weren't aware before, that's the maximum that Amazon will allow you to send, especially for first-time sellers. That should lift in time once you sell more and more. And I think you can even get in contact with Amazon with seller support, see if you can get that standard storage size lifted as well. But even though it says 300, it'll only allow you to do a maximum of, say, 299 units. Won't allow you to do 300. Not sure why, but it can pretty much do a maximum of 299. So let's just say for this instance, it won't let me do 150 because I've already got 150 coming in. So we're just going to do 100 just to be safe. If you're doing 200 units, do 200. You want to put in the quantity here, 100 units. And then from there, it should have a next. If I move my head, there we go, do continue. So we want to hit continue. Okay, now this is where we prepare the product. So what you want to do from here is, so you want to say who prepped. So this means who is prepping the product, who is getting it ready to ship. So even though your supplier is doing it, that will be under merchant. So when you go apply to all, you just want to go ahead and hit merchant because we are the ones who are prepping it. Obviously our supplier is doing it, they're prepping everything and getting it shipped over, but it goes under us because we're not doing, Amazon aren't the ones who are preparing it to get shipped, we are. So we do merchant, and then after that you want to go ahead and hit continue as well. Most of this is basically, it's very, very simple, but can be a bit, not frustrating, but a bit confusing if you're first doing it. So this is when we're labeling the product. So who's going to label the products? We are. This is for the barcode. So if you guys hear me talking about UPC codes, so UPC codes and FN SKUs, basically the UPC code is one we buy off at a website called Barcodes Mania. I basically only do that, and my students only do that for when we create our listing. We need the UPC code number to create the listing. So make sure you check out my other videos on that, on UPC codes and whatnot. The next one is the actual barcode, which Amazon will give you. As you can see here, it says print labels for this page. And that's the FN SKU, which will be the barcode given to you by Amazon, which then you send to your supplier, and they can put on your packaging for you to get it shipped over, because they need a barcode from Amazon to be able to tell what is what and to connect it to your seller account, to connect it to your listing and all that. So this is definitely needed. So it says who labels, apply to all, just to make sure that you've got here merchant as well. There we go, because we're the ones that are labeling it, even though you're giving it to supplier. Then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and hit print labels for this page. You can keep it on US letter, that's fine. You can keep it on the option that is already present on the page. So go ahead and hit print labels for this page. It'll give you a PDF, and then you just basically send that PDF off to your supplier. They can print it on, they can put it on there for you. Your supplier might need it in a different file, like a JPEG file or something like that. You can go and convert it online, which is fine to do, but usually they're fine with a PDF. They're happy to print it for you. Since we're only doing 100 units, we're going to be given 100 labels. So once you have that, you can go ahead and hit continue. This is where we're going to need, so the next page is where we're going to need a bit more information. So create new, so you can just go ahead and if you want to organize it better, you can name this. I'm just going to leave it as is for now. So we've already got the shipment, the warehouse address over here as well, which I'll tell you guys a bit more about in a second. So if that's okay, once you've named it, you want to go ahead and go approve shipment, and then that'll bring you to the next page. So it's just validating the shipment, it says. And then there will be a page most likely coming up next where you will have to put in the box information as well. So wait for this to load up. So you want to go ahead and hit work on shipment. So this is where you actually type in the number of boxes you have and the dimensions and the weight. So you're going to have to ask your supplier for this. So back to the Word document. Basically, during your shipment, you're going to need your supplier address, your carton, which your supplier will, we call them boxes usually, but supplier might refer to them as cartons, which is just the boxes you're shipping all your units in. So you've got to ask for the amount, what the dimensions are, and the weight of each box individually as well. So make sure you ask for that, and an FN SKU as well, which we printed off just before. The shipping label, which we'll talk about in a second, will be given to us because basically what happens is we put in the weight, the dimensions, and how many boxes, and then once that is confirmed, it'll basically generate a shipping label, which again you give to your supplier because they're going to slap that on each carton or each box. So let's just say you've got 2 boxes of 100 units each. It'll just give you 2 labels one for each box, and you send that to Amazon and they can slap that on there so that it'll actually, the shipping company can ship it over to Amazon, and when Amazon receives it, they look at the boxes and then they look at your shipment plan, for your listing and go, okay, this goes here, and then, all sorted. So that's why you need that. Then the address of the warehouse, which will be given right at the end, which I'll show you as well. Sorry if this video is taking a little bit longer. There's a lot to explain, especially for first timers. Doing these shipment plans, it can be a bit daunting. But just take it step by step. That's what I did when I first started. Take it step by step. Follow along with me. If there's anything you don't see, make sure to Google it. Make sure to ask questions as well. Just so you don't get stuck. And the good thing with shipment plans is that you can do them again. If you get stuck, just delete it. Delete those files that you got given, for your FNSKU and whatnot, and just do it again. If you don't think it's right, do it again. If something's wrong, delete the shipment plan, do it again. Should be completely fine to do that. It's a good thing about shipment plans. So, shipping service. Now, with this, it doesn't really 100% matter for what shipping carrier, what service you use. It can be the same one as your suppliers, if your supplier's given you the one that they're using. Otherwise, don't worry too much about the shipping carrier. Just make sure that it's small parcel if you're doing I'm shipping individual boxes, which you are doing, you're shipping individual boxes. Less than truckload says I'm shipping pallet shipment at least 68 kilograms. I basically have never done this before, so I always choose small parcel delivery. Just double check if it's a bigger product, double check with your supplier if it's going to be 68 kilograms or more. Otherwise, here I just left a small parcel delivery and other is toll. So let's just say we're doing 2 boxes as well. 2 set number of boxes. There we go. So let's just say our supplier has said, okay, we're going to give you 2 boxes. The weight of one is going to be 5 kilograms, or let's just make it 10 kilograms, and the weight of another is going to be 12 kilograms. And let's just say, we'll do 23 by 24 by 26. And then this one here is 12 kilograms, so let's just do 25 by 26 by 28. We'll do something like that. So make sure that you ask the supplier for that. And then after that, so shipping labels. So as you put these in, it'll automatically update through Amazon. So it says number of boxes left. It'll show you how many boxes. I've got 498 boxes left, so we're clear on that. And then all you want to do from here to print those box labels, you just go ahead and hit print box labels, and that is it. That is all you do for those box labels. Make sure that that information is correct, and it'll show you, it'll print the labels out, and it will give you, I'll show you an instance for this. So print these box labels. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So while this loads, there we go. So FBA, now I'm going to block out some of this information here, but it'll just have 2 labels, so I've only got 2 boxes. That is pretty much it. That's what you send your supplier. It should be another PDF. And that's it. You save it. Make sure you save all these in proper files. Make sure you put it all together in one spot so you don't get confused, and make sure you name your files properly. That's what I do. So after that, you want to go ahead and hit complete shipment, and that's pretty much the end of your shipment plan. So when it comes to the next page, so we've got here, now this is where they give you the full address. This is the best part, because I know a lot of people get stuck on this. This is where they give you the Amazon warehouse address. Now, I wouldn't go ahead and use this address, because this might not be what you are required for when it comes to selling your product. They might give you a different one, because there are about, I think, 4, maybe 5 warehouses in Australia now. There could be more. I can't remember, but from what I've heard, I think there's around 4, maybe 5 now. And they're not just in Melbourne here. They're not just in Victoria. So this is what I've been given. Make sure that you give them this address here, and then you should be good to go. So other than that, you can once your supplier says they've shipped it, you can hit mark as shipped. And then you've got tracking numbers down here as well, which you can use. It doesn't really matter to use that, but that's pretty much it. That's all you need to give your supplier. Make sure you've got all the relevant information like I was talking about before. And that's pretty much it. That's all there is to a shipment plan. So basically what happens after that, just so you guys know, is you give your let's just say you give all your information to your supplier, or your barcodes and shipping labels and whatnot. They'll ship it off to Amazon. Then after that, once it's shipped, they might give you a tracking number. Your supplier might give you a tracking number depending on who they use. Most of the time they do. And then after that, let's just say it takes 10 days to come into Amazon. Basically, once it gets to Amazon and once they start receiving your product, you'll receive an email from the email that you use to sign up to your seller account, and it'll say, okay, we're starting to receive in your products. Now, they might not come in all at once. They might have some that say reserved on your listing. Don't worry about that. They'll come in eventually. They're just receiving them in. But yeah, basically you'll get updates through your emails as to what's happening. So it's pretty much all I can explain to you on this. The rest of it you have to figure out by doing it. Not so much figure out, but the rest of it you'll basically learn it as you go. If you go along with this video and you start doing a shipment plan, you'll learn as you go, and you'll start doing things. You might get it wrong the first time. You might see some things, that you think you've seen on here, or something might be different. Just don't be afraid to ask questions, and go ahead and Google it yourself as well. But this is the basis of it, and this is basically what you will see for the majority of the shipment plan. But that's pretty much all I have on this. I hope this video helped you guys. I know it's a bit of a longer one, but this is very, very important to learn, because this is actually how to get your product from your supplier to the Amazon warehouse. So apart from that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I told you guys I'd be coming with more tactical videos and more tactical videos. So hope you enjoyed this one. Apart from that, guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one.